Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff is set to introduce legislation that completely bans members of Congress and their families from trading stocks, according to reporting originating in the New York Post, and confirmed by our very own Ryan Grim, who adds that the bill has already been written. This comes only a few weeks after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi doubled down on members' right to invest in the stock market.
And secondly, should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to this second one. This is a free market and people, we are a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
Right. So what I learned is that Senator Ossoff plans to introduce the legislation once he finds a Republican co-sponsor. It seems like either the effort to find that Republican co-sponsor not only has not yielded a co-sponsor, but yielded an article in the New York Post, like his bill getting leaked to the New York Post, or the Ossoff camp leaked it to the New York Post in order to try to embarrass
Republicans for not getting on board with this.
But I doubt it. I suspect that Republicans leaked it in order to embarrass Pelosi, because they love this. They love that Pelosi comment. It's a free market.
It is a ridiculous comment. I am a supporter of the free market. I am very pro-free market, but it is not. The government can do the tinkering and setting of the rules under which the free market operates, so they should not, like the referee should not participate in the game, is like what we're saying here. So I would probably be all for, like, I would sooner just like get rid of Congress, but if we have Congress setting these kinds of rules, they should not benefit from the rules they're making.
That's a perfect analogy. Like, should the umpire be able to bet on the baseball game?
And that's what she said. Oh no, this is a country that, and she basically said, well, this country loves baseball, so of course they should be able to. It's a free country. Well, no, that's not saying anything about baseball. So that would
be to me far worse than what Pete Rose did, because Pete Rose, when he gambled on baseball, and he made this point in his own defense, he said, "I only ever bet for my team." Which, honestly, that kind of feels fine.
Right.
Like, what's it gonna do? Make you try harder to win? It should be illegal to bet against your own team. But if you're the umpire and you have some say, like, that's why it was such a scandal that the Federal Reserve Board of Governors were trading they weren't trading stocks, but they were trading major index funds, which is just as bad, because they move the index funds, just with their whispering to the market. And so the Fed, to its credit, has said, okay, you're not doing any of this. No index funds, nothing, like, you're not trading at all, period, done, we're done with this. The fact that the House and Senate haven't done it yet is just because they write the rules. It's as if the umpires weren't just calling the shots for the game, but also were the ones who hired all the umpires and wrote all the rules of the game. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, these umpires are getting really rich. How did that happen?
It's not like members of Congress are going to go hungry because they can't trade stocks. And when they're out of Congress, they have all sorts of avenues for making a lot of money. Like, this is not a sympathetic, this is not a financially displaced group of people. So I don't understand. I would think he should be able to find a Republican co-sponsor who wants to humiliate people, or wants to sort of lean into this kind of populist moment, this frustration with Wall Street and moneyed interest that animates the Republican base as well.
Who do you think it could be? Because I think it's anybody who's facing serious challenges, either in a primary or a general. Because I understand if you're ensconced in the Senate, how you can say no to that. But if you're running and you have to answer to voters, feels like a very hard question to say no to. So
I don't know.
I mean, what about a Ted Cruz? Like,
a Ted Cruz or
Josh Hallway.
Mike Lee, maybe, right?
You would think a Mike Lee.
Mike Lee, maybe, yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard.
It shouldn't be that hard.
And you would think that now Elizabeth Warren has had a bill on this for a while too, that I think is even a little bit more expansive, although we haven't seen what Ossoff's is yet. But that's going to scan as a lot more kind of partisan and ideological than Ossoff coming in as the Georgia guy who, incidentally, won his race by calling his opponent corrupt.
Right,
David Perdue. Well, Loeffler was trading, and she lost to Warnock, but David Perdue was also doing, just addicted to day trading.
Right.
And there'd also been some weird options that he'd gotten. And remember this amazing moment during the debate where he just said, "You're a crook."
Right.
And then he pulled out of the next debate. And it just made him look like such a beta that I think that's the thing that kind of lost the race.
And I remember conservative media loved those stories. I mean, were furious with the behavior of those two people. They covered that was a Republican scandal that got a lot of coverage on Fox News and in right-wing media because the viewers and the base were disgusted by this behavior, and they didn't get a pass for that. The right did not give them a pass for that at all. Right. So that suggests to me that this is an issue where a savvy Republican could really distinguish themselves.
Yeah. Because it became a total parody.
Yeah.
This party that is picking up more and more of the working class, multiracial working class, growing its numbers among Black and Latino voters, holding its numbers with white working class voters. And then there are two tribunes in the Georgia election, the wife of the guy that runs the New York Stock Exchange, and a former CEO of Dollar General and Reebok, who's trading stocks constantly, and Loeffler, who's trading stocks constantly. It was just a complete
her
parody.
wealth was unparalleled.
Just
so absurdly wealthy.
Right. Yes. And so I'm sure, even the Republicans were like, "Are you kidding me with this?"
Yeah.
So maybe Perdue, actually. That'd be hilarious.
That would be fun to get back in the good graces.
It also is brutal for Perdue.
Yeah.
Who's running for governor, right? Not Senate, so it's different. But he really is one of those people who just seems to love to day trade. And he also got caught lying. He said that his broker just made all his trades. It wasn't a blind trust, but his broker just makes the trades. They then subpoenaed Goldman Sachs and got documents that said Perdue just called and said sell X.
My God, that's terrible.
So you're lying too.
Oh, it's so crooked. It's so crooked. But tomorrow on Rising, Jennifer Holdsworth-Karp, Rachel Bovard will join us for Team Rising.
Plus, we'll be discussing one small grocery store chain's fight against the Biden administration's vaccine mandate. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you tomorrow. Might even have a ruling on the mandate by then.
Yes, we will tell you if we do.
See you then.